So I have a serious question for you. Why are you a creator? I seriously want to know. And the reason why I want to know is because it's hard. After doing this for 17 plus years, it's still hard. Well, I genuinely want to know what drives you. Like, what is your reason for putting in the hours to create videos and have the algorithm reject you at times? I know that firsthand. And what is the outcome that you're looking for? Because what I've found over the last 17 plus years of doing this is it's really hard, and it's really also very rewarding. And it's provided a lifestyle for me to be able to do this for the last 17 plus years. And I just want to know what drives other creators. I was actually having a conversation yesterday over coffee with my son, Scotty, who some of you know from this channel. And we were just talking about our future as far as what we're trying to achieve and our why we are doing it. And, you know, he asked me a question, and he's like, hey, Dad, if someone asked you right now why you're doing what you're doing, what would you tell them? And I was like, that's a great question. And over the years, it's changed. But today, the main reason is because I saw what can happen when you build an audience. I saw the impact that you can make from an audience. And I saw that if you do it right, that you can build a very successful business on the back end of YouTube. But now that I'm in my 50s, I'm 53, any of you that are counting, let me know if we got any 50 plus year olds in the comments. Let me know that. I'd love to know. And he was like, well, okay, so, but why are you doing it now? Like, technically, you don't have to do it. You have other things you could do. Why continue to do it? And I said, well, one of the reasons is you. I want to be able to do something fun with my son and be able to, you know, enjoy creating content with my son, enjoy building a business with my son, but really also for him to be able to kind of look back and go, wow, I remember when I was 27 and my dad was 53 and we started this YouTube thing. And man, that was awesome. And who knows where that is in 10 years from now. But for me, my why, and why I'm still creating to this day, even though I've been hit with algorithm updates. Back in the day when I first got started, my first YouTube channel, started it, and a year later had a trademark violation on a name, and I had to basically delete that channel and start over. And that channel had already provided probably around $50,000 in income, not from AdSense, by the way, because back in the day there was no such thing as AdSense. That's how old I am, and when I started. But I think it changes as we evolve. But when he posed that question to me, I was like, that's something I want to know from other creators. Because if you don't know what that why is, you are going to struggle to keep going. Because if you're not seeing the results, if you're not seeing the views, if you're not seeing the subscribers, if you're not seeing growth, it's really hard to keep going. It's really hard. And so him and I were having the conversation because, like, lately, in the last probably 3 months, we've seen an algorithm shift again. And this isn't the first one that I've seen. Like I said, I've been doing this a long time. And even to this day, it's just like you question. You're like, what the heck is going on? Like, I just want to reach people that are similar to us and our beliefs and like what we're trying to do. And we're trying to build a family first type business. That's what I've always done. And I'm like, you know, what do I do now that this algorithm thing happened, and now I'm getting frustrated? And we had this conversation yesterday, and he was like, well, if you could forget about views and just put out content that you wanted to put out, not because of the algorithm said that you should do stuff on this because you're going to get a lot of views, what would you talk about? And what would you want to do? And I said, I would want to do videos just like this, just like where I am right now. And I would want to share what's going on in my mind after, doing this now for 17 plus years, but also being in my 50s now, because it's changed. When I was 27, his age, I thought completely differently than I do right now. My father, who's 82 now, he told me that years ago. He's like, Scott, I know right now you're thinking one thing, but in 10 years, your mind is going to change. Trust me. And I gotta say, my dad, he was right. I remember as a kid being like, guy doesn't know what he's talking about. He does. I'm not, funny story. I said back in the day, my father had a computer back in, when was it? It was when everything just kind of started, even before the internet. But he had his computer, and I was like, that's such a waste of time. I will never be spending hours on the computer. And then I built my whole business off of the internet and basically using a computer. So I ate my words on that one. And Dad, I am sorry that I said that, because I'm taking that one back. But yeah, so it's, the thing is with like being a creator, there's 100 different ways that you can be successful. And the thing I want people to realize is that you can do it your own way. You don't have to follow and conform to certain rules. Now, with that being said, we do have to understand the algorithm. We have to understand impressions. We have to understand click-through rate and average view duration and things like that. We do have to understand that, because that's going to tell us how the audience is responding. And I think that's the biggest thing that I've realized over the years is, like, if you have an audience that you are delivering value to, whether that's through YouTube or Instagram or TikTok or Snapchat or whatever the new channel or the channel of choice is, if you can serve the audience is going to consume your content, is going to click on your content. The algorithm can't ignore you. It just can't. So the ones that are saying like, oh, the algorithm just hates me. And I've said that before, by the way. It's not true. We just have to figure out a way to stand out in a crowded creators economy that we have now. And we have to figure out a way to differentiate ourselves. And the way that I'm doing it right now is I'm here. I'm sitting in my 1973 Mustang. This is not a Lamborghini. I talked about this in my last video. This was something that I worked hard for, but it's not like a $100,000 car. It's a 1973 Mustang that I got in Florida when I moved here 10 years ago. And I did that after I was married for over 20 years because I sacrificed in the beginning. Just like when you're a creator, there's some things that you have to sacrifice maybe. And that might be time of creating the videos. It might be you're sacrificing feeling a certain way because you're like, I don't want to feel this way. Well, maybe you have to like suck it up and feel that way because that's part of the journey. So what I would love for you to do is tell me, why are you a creator? And I want you to be honest. And for some of you, it's going to be money right out of the gate. It's like money. I want to make money. There's nothing wrong with that. When I first started my channel, I can't say it was for money. It was to build an audience, which I knew I probably could turn into money, but I had no idea in the beginning. When I started my first channel, I had no idea what I was doing with it. I didn't know I was a creator. I just was sharing my story. And then over the years, yes, I found a way to build an audience. And then from there, get people to know, like, and trust you, and then offer things that are valuable to them, that they need, that they want, and things like that. But that stuff all comes when you kind of like say, all right, I'm not going to just conform to make the money. I'm going to add value. And I'm going to, this is another thing that I learned years ago. It's like, can you postpone the gratification, or can you postpone success? Meaning, can you stay in the mud and wait a little bit? You're still trucking through that mud, but can you deal with it? And that's the thing I don't think a lot of, especially YouTube creators, I don't think a lot of the gurus out there, they don't shine a light on that too much. And I'm here to tell you, like, I'm not going to sugarcoat anything. I mean, the reality is, it's hard. But isn't a job, checking into a job, hard every day? Like, isn't it hard to do a certain profession? Yeah. Is it hard to do certain things in family events that maybe are uncomfortable? Yes. There's a lot of things that are uncomfortable. And I think we just have to ask ourselves, why are we doing it? And is it worth the journey? Is it worth putting ourselves through feeling these ups and these downs? And for me, it is. And so after 17 years of doing this, why would I do it again with my son? Well, I shared why. I want to do it because I enjoy it. And I know that if it's done right, money will follow. It's really that simple. So again, let me know in the comments, why are you doing it? Why are you a creator? And let me know a little bit about you. I'd love to know more. So that's all I have for you today. I'm going to go ahead and finish this coffee before it gets cold.